Oh, hey guys, Dave here. Got a giant pan here, and we are gonna make something really good today. We're gonna make a loaded bacon ranch chicken bake. It's going to be foods, healthy, keto, low carb, high protein, everything you could possibly want if you wanna stop eating like crap. And I've never cooked it before, but we're gonna try it and see how it comes out, and I'll let you know if it's worth cooking. The last recipe we did was not, but usually it is. So I want 8 slices of thick, juicy bacon. I was trying to find something super satiating, super filling for dinner, and this seemed like it would really hit the spot. While that starts to cook, we've got to prep our veggies. That's gonna be our base. We need 3/4 cups of zucchini. Ooh, look how good that's cutting. Enjoy it while I can. I usually have dull knives, and I just got this brand new one. Actually, my wife got it as a gift. But I also should be careful not to cut my finger. And additionally, this is the largest zucchini I've ever seen in my entire life. So I don't have a strategy for this zucchini chopping, I'm just chopping it. This is probably the way to not slice a zucchini though, in case anyone wanted a tutorial on how not to slice a zucchini. I would say this probably could do. Send it to your friends who you want to get worse at cutting zucchinis. How many times did I just say zucchini in a few minutes? That rhymes with bikini. Lately I've been trying to find things that are super filling but not full of carbs and processed sugars and all this other stuff. I just feel terrible when I eat garbage. It's really annoying. I used to be able to eat so much garbage, and now I'm really struggling to not feel terrible. So cauliflower is our next little treat here. And we're gonna try to rice it. I've never riced it from scratch before, I don't think. We're gonna see if we can make it happen. The reason is, last time I tried to use cauliflower in a recipe, I was supposed to dry it, and I did a really bad job because I started with frozen cauliflower. But I looked online, and your comments, guys, a lot of people were saying, Dave, wait, which side do I use to rice it? This one? Yeah, that one works. Dave, you need to use a fresh cauliflower because it's not as full of liquid. So that's what we're doing this time. We're just gonna take a fresh cauliflower and shred it up in our grater, and it won't start from such a wet spot like it did last time. How much do I need? That's actually ricing it pretty good. I actually need only a 1/2 cup of it, so that would probably do. Although I need to dry it too, and it does still feel pretty wet. I don't know why my bacon is cooking so feels like it's cooking at an extreme level. Look at that, it's cooking fast. I can't be my normal neglectful bacon cooker. This pan is running hot today. I'm gonna go a little more than 1/2 cup because we're gonna dry it. Maybe I'll go even more, yeah. Dry it in the bacon grease, and I feel like it might shrink when we do that. I don't wanna lose too much of it. So 3/4 cup of cauliflower. And we actually only want 3/4 cup of zucchini as well. So I'm gonna take my smallest stuff, put in my little vintage Tupperware measuring thing. I got this at a yard sale. I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but I love yard sailing. I do it like every weekend. I actually just built a website if you want to check it out next time you have a yard sale. Next time you're going to host one. It's called Garage Sale HQ, like headquarters. And it's basically a place for, oh no, I just spilled my zucchini. That's okay, I've got extra. I just spilled it on the floor over there. The idea is it's really hard to figure out who's having a garage sale and where, especially if you're traveling or anything like that. So I made a website where everyone in the whole United States can put their garage sales and make it easy for everyone to find. So tell all your friends, tell your mom, tell your uncle, if he's gonna have a garage sale, post it on Garage Sale HQ. That way we all know where to go when we wanna go to a garage sale or an estate sale or a yard sale. It's all the same thing. But yeah, GarageSaleHQ.com. I'm excited about it. Something I've wanted for a long time, and I decided to just build the website myself. So anytime you go there, you're supporting me. Pretty cool. But you're already listing your garage sale on Facebook and Craigslist or whatever. Might as well also put it up on Garage Sale HQ. Then you're gonna get more people who come to it probably and be able to sell your stuff better. My friend's calling me right now. We have been playing phone tag for a week. And it's just every time I call him, he's super busy, and every time he calls me, I'm super busy. I'm burning this bacon, aggressively burning it. I don't know why it's going so poorly with this bacon today. Cook your bacon better than I'm cooking it. You know what you can do? Do what a lot of you love doing. I think it's a good way to do it. Just put it in the oven to bake the bacon. Put it in the oven at 400 degrees, 450 for 12 to 15 minutes. Let it come up to being completed, and it'll be easier than this frying pan nonsense I'm doing. I like to do it in the frying pan when I'm doing a video though, because then you guys get to see how the meal is made. I got a rotisserie chicken at Walmart. And we're going to chop it up. It's got a little cute little bracelet on. Is that an anklet? I guess that's more of an anklet. And we don't need to do too much. Actually, what we want to do, we don't want to chop it. We want to shred the chicken off this with our hands. Just like, you know, like a caveman here. Just shred up the chicken. I'm going to burn the bacon. Maybe I should turn the heat down or off while I do this. But yeah, you want about 2 cups of rotisserie chicken. Although, if you don't have rotisserie chicken, you can just use like a chicken breast and cook that up however you want as well. But do we want to take off the skin? Probably. We probably don't want the skin. That's probably gonna be a weird texture. My dogs are gonna be really happy if I give them that. It's kind of a gross project here. All right, is that 2/3 of a cup? Well, I'm supposed to have 2 cups, so that's 2/3 of a cup. So this is how we're measuring today. So that's about a cup. That's about a 2nd cup, right? Yeah, I think we're good. That's about 2 cups of chicken. We nailed it. Perfect. We're not gonna look too deeply at my bacon, guys, because I fear that if we do, you'll judge me and the mess that I have created over there. But yeah, shred up your chicken as best you can into little tiny little pieces of treat. So you guys, not a lot of people watched my last video where I almost set my kitchen on fire. That was a fun one. We're gonna try not to do that today. The big thing that got me, actually, was what I'm about to do. When I tried to cook the steam off my veggies is when all the smoke started happening. So hopefully we don't have the same scenario here happen again. Make sure you get all the bones and tendons out of this. No one really wants to find a crunchy piece when they're eating their chicken bake. Loaded, what did we say it was? Loaded chicken, bacon, etc., etc. See, all this is the slime from the chicken. I'm really good at grossing you out in my food videos. All right, so we're gonna pull the chicken and the bacon. Well, pull the bacon. I'm gonna put it on the chicken. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but it seems like a pretty good spot to store it for now. Honestly, let's just eat that. That looks, that's a good start for dinner for me. Now into our bacon grease, we're gonna drop our zucchini and our cauliflower rice right into the bacon grease. So we're just gonna move this around a little bit. I don't have the heat cranked up. Last time we had basically a burnout scenario. We don't want that again. So I'm gonna cook it kind of low and slow because I got stuff to do anyways. Set my spoon over to the side here. And while we wait for that, we want 1 cup of cottage cheese, and we're gonna put that into our little Ninja Chop or some tool that will help you food process it. There's a 1/2 cup. There's another 1/2 cup. So 1 cup of cottage cheese, whole fat, get that protein in. We then want 1/2 cup of sour cream, which maybe I shouldn't use the same spoon, but I can definitely use the same measuring cup for that. I know, you guys are like, Dave, clean while you go. Never. I like to make a giant pile of dishes that I have to deal with later. 1/2 cup of sour cream goes in with the cottage cheese. Let me check on these veggies again. Mix them up a little bit more. My heat might be too low, but I'm all right. I'm gonna take it low and slow. I'm okay with that. With the bacon grease, it should be pretty flavorful. 1/2 block of cream cheese or 4 ounces or some amount of grams. Let's see, what's 226 divided by 2? Math time. Well, 110 plus 110, so 111 plus 111, 112, that's 113 grams of cream cheese, guys. I got there in the end. You doubted me, didn't you? We're gonna keep using that same dish because, again, guys, I don't like doing dishes. So we're gonna try to minimize dishes. We want 1/2 cup of mozzarella, like so, and 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Shredded Parm, 1/4 cup of that in there. Now we'll put the lid on it. We're gonna end up with something delicious, I think, maybe, hopefully. Unlike last time where it was a nightmare. Press the button and let it blend. All right, into this because I forgot, but you know, you can do it now at the end or you can do it at the beginning. I was just thinking, I was like, where are my spices? Well, they're supposed to go in this mix. I'm glad I thought of it now instead of later. You want 1.5 tablespoons of ranch seasoning. I'm just using like the pre-made stuff, but there's recipes for like, make your own too. Then do 1 teaspoon of garlic powder into the mix. 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, like that. 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Oh man, uh-oh. I just spilled some. Watch me start sneezing. And a little bit of Himalayan sea salt or any sea salt you like. I don't care, whichever one, it's up to you. Now mix it again, one more time. One more little shake and mix. Set aside for just a second. Now that our bacon has cooled off, we want to chop it up because we want it to be nice chopped bacon. Technically, it's supposed to be crispy. Mine is a little bit all over the place. Some of it's crispy, some of it's fatty. Whatever. No one ever said I was good at cooking. You don't need to be good at cooking to have a cooking channel. That's the beauty of it. We're not on Home Shopping Network. Wait, that wouldn't be it. We're not on the Cooking Channel or what are those other channels with cooking? Either way, Food Network. That's what I was thinking. We're on YouTube. We do whatever we want over here on YouTube. But I like to think that's why you come here. Because you can just see a normal guy trying something new. All right, bacon is chopped. The bowl, and into said bowl is gonna go all of our ingredients, starting with the bacon. Then we'll add in the chicken. Nice. Then we'll add in our, can I get it? Our creamy stuff, our ranch delight. I called it. I just started sneezing. I knew that pepper was gonna make me sneeze. Problem is I'm like a violent sneezer. When I sneeze, man, I could get me a hernia sneezing sometimes. It's crazy. All right, pretty good, pretty good. Add the creamy mix to this as well. Oh, it looks really good. It smells really good. It might be really good. It's definitely on a better path than the last time we tried to cook. That was nightmare fuel. Go watch that video if you want to watch me stressed. All right, our veggies are like, I don't know, they're not steaming anymore. I've just been slowly simmering them for the last 10 minutes. And I'm kind of fine with that. I'm kind of fine with it. You know, I'm not gonna put them straight on the cream. I'll make a little spot for them over here. Nice little home, a nice little home. It's not very many veggies, is it? I wonder if I should have done more since they kind of shrunk down. Okay, I've got my little baking dish here. Friendship pattern, nice vintage. Got that at a yard sale too. GarageSaleHQ.com, guys. Even if you're not having a yard sale, you just want to go shopping, make sure you go over there and check it out so you can see if there's any in your area. I'm gonna be the man who revolutionizes garage sale hunting and estate sale hunting. That's the goal. So we're mixing this all together now. Before we put it into our baking dish, we're gonna add a little secret ingredient, which is gonna help the texture a lot. We're gonna sprinkle in a teaspoon of psyllium husk powder. Psyllium husk powder. Sprinkle it in here. Then we'll mix it up a little. Sprinkle it a little more in here. This should help thicken it and give it that real like bake feel that normally you'd maybe get from like a potato or, you know, a more thick ingredient. You know, we don't have tons of thick things in here, and this is gonna help thicken it up and give it that goodness. It also has some fiber in it, so that's always good. It's optional, you don't need to add it, but supposedly it's gonna give us a better texture. We'll see. Mix it all up. The problem is if you're watching this, you might be like, well, I have everything but psyllium husk fiber. Well, just skip it and try it without it, and let me know in the comments how it goes without it. I'm curious. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now we put it into our baking dish. We've got another secret ingredient coming. So don't go anywhere, kids and adults, probably mostly adults. I don't know how many kids are on the keto diet. So we want some little pockets of Gouda. So we're gonna take some Gouda cheese. There's nothing Gouda than that. I'm out of cutting boards. I've messed up all my cutting boards. Can we just use our fingers? Yeah, let's just use our fingers. We're gonna take tiny little squares of Gouda, probably like 3/4 of a cup worth, which is a lot. It's like this whole thing. So a whole bunch of Gouda, like so. Break it up. Another way to do this is you can just shred this into the mix, which I'm cool with too. I just was like, let me try it with like some little pockets of Gouda. That could be kind of fun to get like nice little chunks of Gouda inside the bake that you just run into and you're like, oh nice, that was good. That was a tasty bite. I'm so glad I listened to Dave. Let's push it down into it. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Listen, my hands are clean, don't worry. I use soap from dkmkt.com, my website. I'm always doing 80 different things, guys. I can't stop. I am all over the place. What is Dave gonna work on next week? His own website, invent a product for the kitchen. Maybe I should make a recipe book. Is that my next thing? My next big thing? All right, well, we got a lot of Gouda spots in here. Maybe a couple more. Now, we haven't really used Gouda in a while. I'm just gonna kind of re-spread this out over top so that it's really nice and hidden down in there. All right, we're gonna put this into the oven at 350 degrees, 375 degrees for 25 minutes, 20 to 25, check it. I'm gonna shred up the rest of my, well, see, this is what happens when you use dirty dishes, Dave. You get cauliflower on everything. Aha, wait, I want the cauliflower out of there. Okay, so that's baking for 25 minutes. I'm gonna shred up the rest of my Gouda, and that's gonna be a topper in a little bit. We'll add, I don't know, we'll add it at the 20-minute mark or something, but try not to cut my fingers with the shredder. We're also gonna use a little more mozzarella. I realize now I made a crucial mistake. I should have saved some bacon, chopped up bacon for the top too, so it would have that really like loaded bacon, you know, feel, vibe, as it were. But I put all the bacon inside of it. I think it's gonna taste amazing though. It smells really good. So let's let that cook for 20 or so minutes, then we'll be back and do the finishing touches and taste it and see if it's the world's best keto loaded chicken bacon bake. Makes me think of Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights. Shake and bake. All right, we'll be back. All right, so it's been a little over 20 minutes and it looks pretty good. Not like soup, a little dry on the top. You don't want it to be watery looking. If it's watery, give it a little more time. We're gonna add some shredded Gouda to the top, and I don't know, however much you want. Then we'll add a little shredded mozzarella to the top, like so. Then we're gonna put it in back in the oven on broil for like 2 to 3 minutes just to get that bubbly. Okay guys, we made it to eat time. All right, let's get some of this bake and put it into our bowl. It's not a bowl. Onto our plate. I don't know why I thought I grabbed a bowl. Paper plate, you know, save dishes always. We're gonna see how this tastes, see if it's amazing, or see if it's awful. I don't actually know if this was supposed to be like stiff like a, what's it called, quiche? Or if it's supposed to be this texture, I really don't know. Whatever we say it should be. If it tastes good, that's all that matters. Let's see. That's scorching hot. My goodness. It's really delicious though. Yeah, it tastes delicious. I really like it. Okay, so my revised plan is to eat a lot of this because I love it. Try it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a really tasty treat. I think if you wanted it a little bit like stiffer, you just leave it in the oven a little bit longer, maybe another 5-10 minutes, but I'm kind of completely fine with it as it is. Thank you for watching. I'm Dave. We'll see you next time.